Dear students, welcome to this module on academic writing. Today we are going to discuss about basic rules of academic writing. In our last module, we have discussed about the importance of academic writing, why we should go for academic writing, and what is the need of academic writing, and so on. Today's module, we are going to discuss about what are the basic rules of academic writing. What are the rules to be followed? What are the things to be avoided during academic writing in detail? B.Varun, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. If you have any queries in regarding this module, you can contact me through email varun.me@srit.org, or you can contact me through the Gmail ID bvarun.me@gmail.com. What's the outcome? Whatever the things we are doing, there should be some kind of outcomes. This is what we call as outcome-based education. After completing this module, students can able to have a quick overview of the basics of academic. Says in today's module we are going to cover when to write an academic writing, what to write in academic writing, how to plan for academic, how to write an academic writing, where to send our uh, reports, how to address the review comments given by the review. Not least, we should know how to do the proofreading. So in today's module, we cover all these things in detail: when to write, what to write, how to plan, how to write, where to send, how to address the review comments, and how to do the proofreading. I think we should consider while doing an academic writing, we should see the rationality. The first and foremost thing in academic writing is we should see either the research work or the invention is patentable or published. If the invention is patentable, then you should not go for publishing. If you publish, it cannot be. Next thing we should remember is the novelty of the work. We should see the novelty in the invention. If you are the first person who is going to report the issue, then there are more chances for the document to get contribution to the state of knowledge. What is the contribution of the invention towards the research or innovation? In academic writing, when we are writing, we should see all these things in mind. Whether the document is patentable or publishable, the novelty of the work, and contribution to the state of knowledge. Next, when to write an academic writing. There is no time limit for academic writing, but we should keep these three things in mind. First, start writing early, review writing, plan the outline on time. Start writing early. Whenever you are doing your research, you should not wait till the end to start your academic writing, either thesis or report. If you're waiting till the last minute, then there may be delay in preparing the documents. Second one, review writing. Whenever we are doing the research, review writing is very much important. To do the review writing, we should go for number of literature service. As much as we read, it's easy for us to understand the research gap and proceed with the inventions. Third point, plan the outline on time. When we start the academic writing, we should sit along with our co-authors or along with the supervisor to decide what is the report is all about, how to structure the report. So when to write. Under when to write topic, we should start writing early. To complete the review writing, we should do number of literatures. And the last one, first we should decide the outline of the report. Next, where to send my report, where to send my uh, journal, or where to send my research findings. First, assess your work wisely. Whatever the work you are doing or whatever the invention you have carried out, you should measure your work in a wise manner. At any cost, it should not be overestimated or it should not be underestimated. Next point, after completing the journal or after completing the report writing, we should target the quality journals. Nowadays, there are number of journals are available, but whenever we are talking about good proposal or good journal, we should target quality journals or journals with very good impact factor or indexing. Next, when we choosing the particular journal, we should see the scope of the journal. Every individual journal is having different scope. If the scope of the journal is not met, then there may be chances of rejection. Next point, see article processing charges, or that means APC. Some journals are getting published with money, some journals are published without getting money. So before submitting your documents for publish, we should see the APC. If there is an APC, see that is it affordable or not. Next point, check the review processing time. If you're doing your masters or if you're doing your PhD research or MS, we cannot wait for months or years. So, review processing time is an important factor in academic writing. We should see how much time it taken to get it reviewed. As per the scope of a journal or the study, we can plan our article as a full-length research article, or a short communication, or a rapid communication, or a letter to the editor. Drafting a manuscript. So far we have discussed about what to write, when to write, where to send. Now, how to write. Under how to write, we are going to discuss about drafting a manuscript. How to start the manuscript writing. A straight or well-defined outline of the article helps a lot in drafting, which means before proceeding with the drafting, we should form an outline as we discussed in the previous slides. Stick to author guidelines of the journal while drafting the manuscript. Without reading the author guidelines, we should not proceed with the drafting. Whenever we are writing the journals or reports, we can follow either British English or American English. Other languages are not advisable. The important point in academic writing is avoid any kind of typographical or grammatical errors. Typo error or grammatical errors should be avoided. If there is anything, there may be lots and lots of chances to get your journal to be rejected. Use simple reader-friendly language with good clarity. We are not writing poem or we are not writing story. So make it simple as much as possible as a reader-friendly document. Maintain a systematic flow in writing and presenting information. It should follow it should follow a systematic flow. Don't forget to give attribution. Attribution means those who have contributed to your research or those who have contributed to your document, they should be rewarded. Avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism in any point or in any type or in any way is not advisable. So you should not plagiarize. In the upcoming modules, we are going to see the types of plagiarism, methods of finding the plagiarism, avoiding plagiarism, everything in detail. Plan, precise, aim. Whenever we are planning our aim, the aim should be subdivided into objectives, and these objectives should be addressed in simple and easiest way. So far we have discussed everything about journal. Now we are going to see what are the components of an article. The article type, the authorship, abstract, all these things are jointly produce the component or jointly produce the. So what is the structure of a paper? What does it mean? What does the abstract means? What does the introduction part means? What does the affiliation means? Here, abstract means it is the central idea of the journal. Introduction part defines about the problem and the rationality of the work. Materials and methods section defines the way to solve the problem. Results section explains about the findings of the experiments. Discussion forum explains about the analytical study of obtained results. Conclusion part explains about the concluding remark. Acknowledgement is the support received from either colleagues or from outside. References, the sources of studies, sources of literatures. Infographics explains about the tables, and in introduction part we are going to see the here we are going to discuss about the components of introduction part. Whenever we should going for writing the introduction, we can complete the introduction by answer the simple question, what is the problem and what is your hypothesis? In the introduction part, first thing we should give first thing we should do is give background or origin of your idea. What makes you to proceed with the research? Next, logically, sequentially, systematically introduce your problem and give your hypothesis. First, we should introduce our problem. What is the problem statement? Then we should give the hypothesis for the particular problem. Next point, we should focus on justifying the rationality of the work. While writing the introduction, give proper citation to the latest and important previous studies or previous literatures. Don't use very old references unless otherwise it's very important to discuss. Second point is materials and methods. In materials and methods part, we can answer the simple question, how the problem was studied following your hypothesis. What is the procedure we followed to determine the solution? In the materials and methods part, we can discuss the methodology either logically or in a concise way. Don't miss discussing about any modification made by you in the standard method. If there is any standard method, you should not miss the miss explaining about the modification what you have carried out. Next point is the results. Results can be completed by answering this question, what was the outcome of problem treatment from your hypothesis? In this section, this section provides the evidence that leads to the answers of the study to the question you posted. The reader should be guided to these findings by using the text of the results along with the tables and illustrations. Next point, state the results without any bias. You should not do any bias in writing the results page. Don't exaggerate the results. Whatever the results you are finding, you should we should write as it is. We should not do any kind of manipulation in the results. Don't be afraid of reporting negative results. If you have any negative results, you should not be afraid. Report any paradox. Use good statistics to show the results. Don't repeat the text in figure or table or vice versa. The documents, the data should not be repeated. Cite the table or figure in the next is discussion forum. The discussion forum can be completed by answering this question. How was the outcome of problem treatment correlated or contradicted with the previous studies? The discussion forum, it may be a separate section or it may be joined or can be joined with the results and discussion section as per the journal's requirement. Take the results one by one and discuss them individually. Discuss the results in light of existing knowledge. Whatever the uh, details, whatever the answers, whatever the solutions being provided by the previous authors and discuss along with the previous literatures. The discussion form should be critical, it should not be biased. Discuss the results with clarity and reader friendliness. Use the references freely to support discussion. Next one is the conclusion part. Conclude your study in a concise manner. The conclusion should not just be copied from the abstract. We can give the future directions also, or we can name it as conclusion and future. Next is the acknowledgement. In acknowledgement part, we can complete by answering the simple question: who helped you and support you but not eligible to be author on merit? Because whenever we are doing our research, there may be so many good minds or good hearts, those who are helping either directly or indirectly. We cannot bring them all as a credit as authors, but it's a good habit to give acknowledgement to those who helped in our research. Acknowledge only to project grants. Acknowledge gift samples. Acknowledgement analytical or other service providers. Acknowledge either logistic support and so on and so forth. In the acknowledgement side, do not use this section for greasing or greeting. Do not acknowledge senior authors and direct stakeholders like department, principal, etc. and etc. Next is the references. References plays a vital role in academic writing. Stick to uniform formatting and style as prescribed by the journal. Don't unnecessarily increase the references. Whatever the references you have taken for your journal or your report or your document, only those references to be listed. Spell author's name properly. Either he or she may be one of the reviewers. None wants his name printing wrong. Don't miss the pioneer. Most important and most relevant studies for your work. Do not forget to cite at latest references. Do not limit the references as per the need of your sorry. Limit the references as per the need of your article. Review articles are expected to give as much as references. How many references we are taken for the journal. Stick to uniform formatting and style as prescribed by the journal. Don't unnecessarily increase the references. Don't miss the pioneer or most important and most relevant studies of your work. Do not forget to cite the latest references. Limit the references as per the need of your article. As far as the review article is concerned, we should give number of references increases the uh, increases the value of your journal. Editing and revising. Editing and revising comprises three main parts. First one is the major changes. Second one, polish the style. Third one, formatting. In the major changes, fill the missing links, correct the flow of the logic, rewrite, reorganize the text, or change the order in a logical sequence. Polish the style. In the polish the style, refine the content followed by corrections in either grammar or by spelling. In the formatting style, give time to your text so that it's more attractive and easy to read. All these things can be completed in the editing and revising section. Do the work in the given sequence. Otherwise, you will be wasting your time in revising the things and then deleting the same thing later. If you want to write a good journal or if you want to publish a journal in a very good journal publisher with good impact factor, we should do the work in the given sequence. Otherwise, yes, there will be waste in time, there will be waste in the resources. After completing all the formalities, now it's time for the revision by the author, either by the author or by the authors. Revision of your writing is an ongoing process from time to time when you begin until the final copy is submitted. You must write the first draft and then leave it for a day. Then you can come back to the first draft and begin revising again and check the things in the order. While checking or while revising, we should see all these things in detail. First thing, the sequence of content and idea in each section for logical flow, whether there is a strong relationship of ideas between the introduction and the discussion or not, each paragraph as a main sentence for coherence or not. In paragraph, other sentences support the main or lead sentence or not. The smooth, natural, and logical transitions between paragraphs, the accuracy of the terminology used, possibility of active voice framing of an existing passive voice, complete removal of any colloquial language, any redundancy of content, correct citation and formatting, the sequence of the infographics, the line spacing, font, text, infographics, page breaks, accuracy, all these things can be checked in precise or in a concise. The best way to check the journal correction is reading aloud, use spell check or thesaurus. Don't rely on thesaurus or grammar checker. First thing, reading aloud. Reading the paper aloud is the best and the simplest strategy to check the error of writing. Second point, use spell check or thesaurus. Using spell checker helps a lot in checking the most typographical or spelling errors. But we should be careful in replacements because whenever we are doing the automatic replacement, some main words can be changed because it may lead to the right but completely non-contextual or nonsense word. Third, don't rely on thesaurus and grammar checker. It may lead to non-contextual or nonsense words. After completing everything, get feedback from the co-authors or from the supervisor. Get feedback on your manuscript and then revise with the manuscript once again. You must get the feedback to improve your article. Ensure that your co-authors have read and commented on the draft or had a chance of it. Then, when it's ready, give the manuscript to some of your colleagues, then ask them to give the feedback. Either they can give the feedback on the logic or language or style or whatever it may be. After you get their concerns or comments, revise your manuscripts to address the concerns given by the co-authors or given by your colleagues. Then you can submit the document. After their comments, we can revise the manuscript to address their final revision. After completing all the steps, now we are coming here. Now we came here for the final uh, revision. Allow Final revision allows us as what the reviewer does. Examine the paper again and again and again if it is possible. Your co-authors can also check and approve the final draft to ensure that their inputs were also being included and the quality of the journal is good. While submitting the document, what are the things to be followed? Submitting manuscript and follow-ups. All these points to be carried out in while submitting the documents. Identifying the mode of submission, either it's online or offline. Prepare a cover letter, provide a copyright form, submitting the manuscript, address the reviewer's comments, understand what is the flaw or problem, how to overcome it, so on. After completing all the steps, when to write, what to write, how to write, where to send, how to review, how to address the review comments, everything. Now it's time for us to review the overall process. First point is write simple language with clarity. The language should not be functionality of the study. It should be clear and to be focused in the entire aims and methodology should be clearly. Next, provide the results systematically and in totality. Re- Reduced. Discuss the results critically and with logical reasoning without any general or vague. Conclude the study as per the objective of the study and future. Provide the additional data or spectra also in support of your. Always stick to manuscript guidelines prescribed by the journal with respect to formatting and all other aspects of the research article. When 8 points, we can write a good journal and we can publish in a very good article. So far, we have discussed about the basic rules of academic writing. Thank you for your cooperation.